It is the middle of December, and I haven't really done any plot updates. I've shot some video, but I haven't really posted anything. So I'm gonna actually shoot some video and give an actual real plot update here. I think my last update, I was kind of disappointed. I really didn't have a lot of tubers growing. You know, I had a lot of tops and lots of greens and not really a lot else. I had, as fall came and the vegetation kind of wilted up and shrunk, I did find more tubers. In fact, I took some pictures of them. I'll edit those in now to kind of show what I found that did grow. I'll edit that in now real quick. So as you can see, I mean, I definitely found some really nice turnips and radishes growing, but there wasn't a lot. I mean, there just really wasn't a lot. And a lot of it was along the edges. So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe I overplanted, just too tight. I mean, I planted almost dead on per the recommendations with the seed, but I don't know if they go a little heavy thinking germination will be that great. But you know, we did a really good job of preparing the seed bed, did a really good job of fertilizing, and we had amazing germination. I mean, it was thick as carpet in here. So I don't know, but we definitely have some growth. We have a lot of green. One thing we haven't seen yet is the deer really haven't started getting in them. We've got 3 brassica plots. I'll film all 3 of them today. A lot of deer traveling. We haven't had snow in like 2 or 3 weeks now, so just a ton of deer sign. But you know, I'm sitting here looking, I don't really see anywhere where they've dug into it yet. They've walked through here, the tops are eaten down. You know, anything that was sticking up, they've chewed off. But really nothing where they've dug down in yet. I think a lot of that is they're still out picking through the picked cornfields. We've got I'll show it when we get to the other side. We've got a picked cornfield over there, and the deer in there are just thick out in the picked cornfield. So nothing really yet in the brassica plots, but I'll film them all. We'll see if any of the other ones are different. I'll keep filming them this winter. My thought is once they get to there's really no corn left, they're probably gonna change and start getting into the brassica plots, I'm hoping. I guess we'll see. This trail is really thick here. This trail's a lot thicker than I thought it was. This summer it didn't look this heavily used. I've got a camera, 40, 50 yards from it. And I think I'm actually gonna go grab that camera and bring it over here. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna move this camera because there's a lot of activity at that trail crossing. Let's walk over, see how this one looks quick. I mean, there's definitely deer using this trail and this crossing. I mean, they're definitely coming up through here. But kind of the way that this creek is, it's so shallow on both sides that really the deer cross it in many spots. This one looks like it's pretty heavily used as well. Okay, maybe I'll do something different. I'm gonna leave this one for a little while again. I'll watch and see what's on here. But we've got, that's kind of the way this creek is. It's just every 40-50 feet there's just another beaten down crossing. So I'm gonna swap this card and move to the next one. So out here, this whole strip down here is all clover. This end, the clover's been really good, but as you can see, and it's been this way every winter, they don't really dig in it. We've had this in here for like 3 years now. They just don't. A lot of trails, or a lot of tracks through here. One thing I did want to talk about is pumpkins. We this edge here, all the way up, all the way down here, and that whole end up there, we had planted full of pumpkins. Grandpa sold them at his house this year, and we had a lot. I don't even know how many hundreds he planted, but there were a lot that weren't good. You know, when we went to pick them, they were either overripe, underripe. The deer had already started to eat them, so we left a bunch, especially down on that end. There was a bunch of green ones that just never ripened down there, and they're gone. I mean, from the time we picked, we must have picked late September. There was remnants a month ago, but they're gone. I mean, the deer, there used to be pumpkins laying along here, still on the vines, and the deer have ate them all. That really definitely told us how much deer like pumpkins. And that might have something to do with why we had some really, really good bucks come through this year. And we're gonna plant more next year. Now we got a little bit of digging here. No, not really. No, they're not really digging there. Gonna plant more pumpkins next year. Gonna plant some to leave. But boy, they sure hammered them this year, what was left. I mean, we had to have left good solid at least 100 out here. Of the 3, we probably picked a couple hundred, maybe more. Left 100 that weren't good, and the deer just mauled them. They just ate them right down to nothing. So definitely a good choice. I'm gonna look at probably planting some on the other side as well. I'm gonna jump in the truck here and move down to the next camera. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing here. Kind of look through this brassica plot. Again, I don't really see any digging out here yet. I mean, nothing's dug up any of the roots, any of the radishes or turnips. Definitely some tops ate. Not all of them. Kind of standing in the light here. I mean, some of the tops are ate. There's a lot more tops sticking up down here that aren't ate. Some have been chewed off. I mean, you can see these have been browsed down, but not all of it. Really no digging in here per se. Again, we haven't had snow in like 3 weeks, so there's a ton of sign here, and there always is, but this looks, you know, of course it looks crazy because of all the tracks, but it's, you know, this is 3+ week old snow. But again, I don't really see anything digging down into it yet, so we'll change the trail camera card here, go the other side, see what it looks like over there. So this plot here, I haven't really talked much about this fall. This was Buck Forge oats. Last year we put Buck Forge oats in here. It's right up by the road, and we had a lot of activity in it. I mean, they mowed the thing right down to the ground. This year it didn't really seem like they did. It grew a lot taller this year. We did probably plant it a little bit earlier. Didn't seem like they were hitting it as hard. We kind of just forgot about it. But now I see, you know, with all the old snow, you can see the tracks out here. And I do see now where they're starting to dig out here. You can kind of see them. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether that's deer or turkeys. There are way too many tracks out here for me to tell. Maybe an expert could tell the difference, but there are so many tracks out here. I'm not sure if deer are pawing it up or if turkeys are pawing it up. But interesting, I'm seeing pawing, or I'm seeing, you know, digging out here in the Buck Forge oats, not seeing it in the clover, and not seeing it in the brassicas yet. So kind of an interesting observation. See, we've got a big flock of turkeys around the feeder. They've been out here quite a bit. I don't remember how many they are. I've got them on camera. There's got to be 15, 20 of them. They're out here by the feeder when I pulled out here, which isn't surprising. Was just cleaning out the hunting shack. Went to drive around the trail cameras, and I just drove past here. There's a deer standing out here while I was out here cleaning that out. Right there. It is looking at me like, what are you doing? Huh, that's right where I was just wondering if they were in the brassicas. I guess I'll go check it out. I'm gonna shoot some video from here. I was just up at the hunting shack there and cleaned it out, and as I was driving up over here, I looked down over here. There's a deer standing down there, and in the brassica plot, which is kind of why I was filming this, going, huh, haven't really seen much action in it. I think it's still standing down there. We'll see. So what we've got here is we got a picked cornfield, and this has been just you know, just heaven for the deer this year. They've been out here just thick in this picked cornfield. This end of the cornfield here gets hammered even when it's standing, and then every other year it's beans. The same thing. When this is beans, the deer are out here. I'm assuming that's why I haven't seen much action in my brassica plots. This is last year I had a little bit of brassicas, got a little bit of action out of it, not a ton, but we didn't do a real good job of getting them planted. They didn't grow the best. This year they're beautiful, but I think right now the corn up here in this picked cornfield, you can see there's just tracks coming out here, and if I go up top here, I mean, it's just like a cow yard up here. But Grandpa brought the feeder back out. I usually pull the feeder a couple weeks before the season. I pulled it a couple weeks before slug season this year. I shot a real nice deer out here this year. He was a nice dark antlered 8. He wasn't a high scorer. He barely broke 120 inches, but real nice looking deer. And then Grandpa shot the biggest deer of his life out here opening morning of muzzleloader season. A real big buck we had running around here. We're not really sure why he came here. We didn't have him early season. We kind of heard where he came from, about a mile away. Not sure if they had too much early season bow pressure over there and pushed him out, or if he came over here because of the does or the food, pumpkins. Not real sure, but he showed up here mid-October and he never left. He was always on camera every couple days. Not every couple days, every 4 or 5 days I'd get a picture of him somewhere out here. And then Grandpa got him out of the hunting shack. He just came walking through in the fog with some other deer opening morning. It is Grandpa's biggest. He's got a 160-inch bull kill from not too terribly far from here on the wall, and this one beat that by a little bit, so he's definitely a big buck. Grandpa's excited to have him, and we're excited to have the habitat to bring and hold deer like that. So I'm gonna go over by that feeder. I've got a camera over there I'm gonna change, and I'm gonna go down to that brassica plot and where that little deer was, and we'll see what we got going on down there. Well, I'm driving over here. We'll see if that little deer is still standing out here in that food plot. No, I must have scared it away. Driving by it twice was enough. I'm gonna jump out here and change the trail camera by the feeder here, and then we'll go down here and we'll take a walk through that brassica plot. Well, something else I need to be on the lookout for is sheds. Hearing reports of sheds dropping real early this year. You know, I mean, it's natural. There's always some early droppers. That just kind of comes with it. But the reports are there's definitely more than normal dropping already for this time of year. So I kind of keep my eyes out for that. But this is the third brassica plot, and this has a lot more tracks in it than the other one does. But this is also a high traffic area. This is kind of a funnel here. I mean, you can see this is actually wore right down. The snow's almost hard. It's so packed down. But it looks like they are out here eating the tops a lot more out here than the other side. You know, and that may be natural, as they're used to being out in the corn, the picked corn. That little deer was standing like right here when I drove by, and I'm guessing it's down here eating the tops. So I would say they're definitely moving into the brassicas now. You know, I'm looking around through here and I can see where they're kind of opening up these green tops that are sticking out. And oh, there's a deer running right there. She does not want to leave. She's been probably standing there the whole time. She wants me to get out of here so she can eat. I'm going, sweetheart. I'm going. You can see there's just a ton of sign out here. They're out here heavy, but it looks like they're eating the tops. I don't see anywhere where they've pawed down to the down into the tubers at all yet. Nothing down to the brassicas or the radishes or anything like that yet. But they are eating the tops, so I'm anticipating as the corn goes away up there, as they've ate it all, they'll start pawing down here. So I guess we'll see. I've got a trail camera right here, which gets a really great view right up in here. This is kind of a travel corridor. They come here, they come here, they come here. They all come up, going up to the picked corn up there. They also come here, down through here. So this is a real heavily used area. As you can see, that little deer, I don't know where she went. She's probably still standing over there, mad that I'm messing up her afternoon meal. So I'll get this changed and get out of here. This was the last one, but this should start telling me here what I've got going on in this plot. And as I see more sign in the other ones, I'll start pointing cameras at them and see what we got. We'll see if we've got any more big bucks hanging out. We've had a couple of real nice ones come through late season here. We had a really nice one. Got one picture of him, basically. Never saw him again. Then we had another one come through last card pull. Real nice up and comer. I mean, one of those that you look at and go, wow, he's going to be a giant in a few years. But if he makes it, and then there's just a ton of little bucks running around out here. Piles of them. I mean, just everywhere, every card pull, it's just spikes up to baskets all day long. So we've got some good habitat going here. I'm hoping this plot really blows up for them this winter. They get out here and start digging down. There's a lot of green under that snow. So all right, I'm gonna change this card and jump out of here, but that's the update for now. Just gonna film this real quick. You can actually see the deer bedding right here, right on the edge of the food plot. That trail camera's right there. I just changed, and I've had pictures of them. You can see that they've got it. There's a spot right here where they've been bedding. I think they just lay here. You know, there's open water, 50 yards, and food here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I've got the hunt shack cleaned out for the year. We are done. Muzzleloader is over. I got some opened up there a little bit for some reason. Muzzleloader's over. Grandpa shot a monster. I shot a real nice deer. Grandpa brought the feeder back out a couple days ago. Now that we're done hunting, we do run that feeder year round. It's not really enough to, I would say, feed the deer per se. It doesn't throw out very much. And in fact, if you can see all the millions of turkey tracks out here, Grandpa keeps it actually full of more like cracked corn and sunflowers for the turkeys and pheasants. We released, what was it, 50 pheasants out here this year. I've only seen 2 since that, so hopefully 2 survived, but we definitely leave the feeder out year round for the birds. We pull it during gun season and that's it. So all right, I'm out of here. Well, real quick update here. I'm gonna, as I wrap up this video, I was just looking through some pictures on the trail camera. So here's that little doe today. There's my truck as I was driving right by. You know, she's been out there. Here's another picture of her standing out there on a different day. There's also I've got quite a few pictures of deer out in that brassica plot. So the deer are definitely starting to eat the tops, but I also noticed got a lot of turkeys out there too, and it looks like the turkeys are eating the tops of those brassicas as well. And which is good. That's fine. That's what it's out there for. But you know, definitely a lot of turkeys in it, and they looks like they're eating this picture here. They're all looks like they're chewing on the tops. So that may have something to do with you know, why it looks like the tops are getting ate so much. But you know, the deer are definitely starting to get into it. But I've got so many pictures of them up in the picked corn. Just so many pictures. I think they're still up there quite a bit. Probably going to take a little while till they get into the brassicas and dig it up more. But right now they are eating some of the tops, and the turkeys are eating it. So I guess that's good. Nothing real big on camera. I'm hoping we've got a couple of up-and-comers that keep hanging out, so we'll maybe find some decent sheds this winter. But nothing too monstrous on film right now. So, well, we'll wrap it up. That's my update of my brassica plots.